Start breaking down this story as soon as this loads up. We need this to load up, load up, load up, load up, load up. But yeah, what's going on today? Well, I had to start a whole new live stream. It's still catching up with the frame rate and the bits per second and all the other stuff. And I finally figured out what these different bits per second mean. So I actually have the ability to have live streams that are like a much higher capability. But this is breaking news. A kindergarten class somewhere in California was popped up by some crazy nut job or whatever. I don't want to say what they are or whatever. But yeah, this is breaking news. I will be breaking this story to you guys probably just as quick as the other news companies are breaking the story. This is why I'm always up on trends when I'm doing this stuff. Always up on trends while I'm doing this stuff. Right? Always. If you're not up on the trends, what is the purpose? What is the purpose? So, yeah, this is breaking news, guys. This is breaking news. Donate to Passions. Donate to Passion Services. I want to make sure we got that up there and a little pin comment. How do I pin it? Oh, I could pin it on there too. I forgot I could pin it over there. Hey, you live and you learn. You learn different stuff every day. Every day I'm learning. Every day I'm growing. But yeah, we got some breaking news for you guys. I wanted to bring this news story to you guys first before anybody else could bring it to you. We got to check for sensitive topics before we start breaking this story. And you heard this first on WTFFN, Work Till Friday Fake News. Two kindergartners in critical condition after a gunman opens fire in a Christian school in California. Was this one of the base heads or was this one of the WJBTQI elemental P's? Hey, listen, I'm going to start correcting y'all. Y'all is not going to keep calling these dudes woke. They're not woke. Woke people don't do stuff like that. You don't know nothing about wokeness. Two kindergartners in critical condition after... Oh, yeah, we already said it. Two kindergarten students remain in critical condition. And this is from Oroville, California. So if you got kids in Oroville, California, go get your kids right now. Go get your kids right now. Two kindergarten students remain in critical but stable condition after they were wounded in a shooting at a small Christian school north of Sacramento, authorities said on Thursday. The boys aged 5 and 6. How do you shoot a 5 and 6-year-old? Are being treated at a local hospital, according to the latest update from the Butte County Sheriff's Office. The attack is another example of the scourge of gun violence on America, composes with at least 78 school shootings recorded so far this year. Why does this stuff always go up under... Nah, I ain't even gonna say it. You guys know. You guys know it is what it is. It is what it is. This latest school shooting in Northern California highlights how guns are a leading cause of death for children. It's actually car accidents. Car accidents is the leading cause of death for children, but we still need to get into this. Do you know who did it? Can we like talk about who did it so we can actually analyze the ideology? We know so far they shot up a Christian school. It definitely could be somebody with this base brain bug, but more than likely, with the Supreme Court thing going on right now and them trying to ban the operations on children, I lean more to the WJBTQ plus. As student, yeah, they kicked out the L's and the B's, right? And the L's and the G's. Matter of fact, they kicked out the B's too. It's just the WJTQ plus. As students huddled in the Feather River evidence... I don't know this Christian language. I've never been Christian. I can say, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, Rahman Rahim, Maliki Yalamadin, Yakan Abu Dawai, Yakan Asni, Dino Sarato, Mr. King, Sratalatina, and Amtalahim, Rahmaktobi Alehim, Waladolins. I mean, I know very little Latin, so I'm not going to try to make an attempt to speak these Latin Catholic words, but go ahead, do you. School gym in Oroville. just feet away from the shooter standing outside. One student said she tried to keep the others calm by sharing words of encouragement. I told the kindergartners to take deep breaths and just think of something happy, sixth grader Jocelyn Orlando told CNN affiliate. Wow. I told the little graders to close their eyes and cover their ears because he was pacing back and forth from window to window. Why are you only hitting kids? I'm okay, but one of these nut jobs went and started popping up a school, and this time it happened to be a Christian school, so I don't think it was one of the people with the base brain bug. So I'm thinking it's more of the WJTQ plus. WJTQ plus. Police found a suspect dead at the scene from what appeared to be self-inflicted GSW. Sheriff Corey Hannes said at the evening conference, was this a kid or was it one of the kids that went to the school? But why are you doing it to kindergartners? What type of beef did you have with kindergartners? This don't make too much sense. Hours after the gunman opened fire at the Feather River Adventist school in Oroville. I don't speak Latin. I speak Arabic. The man has been identified but could not be immediately named due to an ongoing FBI investigation, he added. They said it's a man. It's a man. Why is this man shooting up schools? And is it a man or are they now a man? Authorities had received information leading them to believe the suspect had targeted the school because of its affiliation with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Okay, so they're not Catholics or Seventh-day Adventists. Those are the people that actually still follow Christianity pretty closely. They're the people that they still do the Sabbath on Saturday, just like the one group that I can't even say that wears the kufi, but it starts with a Y, and the Muslims. The three faiths of Abraham tend to do their Sabbath on Saturday. You stop working on sunset on Friday. That's why you guys ain't going to see me much tomorrow. You might see some posts go up or whatever. Seventh-day Adventist faith is part of the Protestant Christian denomination whose followers believe the Bible is infallible word of God and believe in the second coming of Christ. Well, everybody but the first group believes in the second coming of Christ. We just differ on who's going to be right when it comes, because Muslims believe Jesus will come back. We just don't believe he died. We believe he ascended to heaven. Followers worship on, why is it getting like, oh, because it's all Christian based. It's all Christian based, but it's still crazy. No matter what, like if you think it's okay to shoot kids because of their religion, you're a horrible person. You're a horrible person. If you think it's okay to shoot kids for any reason, you're a horrible person. Like, okay, I got a better idea, guys. I got a way better idea, right? If you want to end your life and you want to go out in a blaze of glory, instead of going after schools, why don't you go after a law enforcement office? You're not going to hurt that many people because they're going to take you out rather quickly. So why don't you just run up in like someplace where they will pop you back? Why you guys keep running up in schools? Weirdos. There are more than 7,500 Seventh-day Adventist schools worldwide, enrolling more than 1.8 million schools. So what is you doing, trying to give these crazy people more targets? What led up to the shooting? Earlier in the day, the suspect was dropped off by an Uber. How did he get what? Yesterday, dude rides off on a city bike, right? You can't have that city bike. You can't ride on a city bike for 16 minutes without that joint locking up and forcing you to take it back, or there will be a police officer or somebody coming to collect that city bike from you. So how do you do a hit and get away on a city bike? And now this dude's doing a hit in an Uber? This is crazy. Earlier this day, the suspect dropped off by an Uber at the school where he had attended a meeting with a school administrator on campus, ostensibly to explore the possibility of enrolling a family member, the sheriff said. Don't even sound right. The meeting was described as cordial. According to the sheriff, no concerns were raised at the time, and authorities were working to establish whether the meeting was a ruse for the students for the suspect to enter the campus. The Uber driver was identified and interviewed by investigators to determine what the shooter said during the ride. Huna said Jocelyn's family father expressed his concerns about the shooting and the safety of his children attending the private school, saying the presumption is that it's the safest place a parent can send their child. Yeah, a lot of people send their kids to private school to try to not let anything happen to them. Law enforcement agencies across state were urged to be vigilant and ensure school association with the church are safe. Hana added, investigators were looking into the entire workup on the subject to get a better understanding of his motivation ideology. Whether or not this is a hate crime or whether or not it's part of some sort of larger scheme at this point, I'm thinking larger scheme. Like, dude, what did he use? Did he use like the typical thing that they're always using, the Daniel defense tool or whatever? How did he get that in an Uber? So yesterday somebody pulled a hit on a city bike that only has a 15-minute time limit to it. And today somebody pulls a hit in an Uber. And they went after kids, children. Sheriff noted the investigators found no connection between the victims and the shooter had no prior connection to the school. That don't sound right. That don't sound right. So he got paid. He got paid. And this don't add up, right? Because I drive Uber from time to time. I'm not letting nobody get in my Uber with a big ass weapon on it. Like, that's crazy. I'm like, no. Like, there's a button to say you feel unsafe. There's a button to say you feel unsafe. And the only way that would have happened is if, like, they forced him to do it and would not let him hit the button that say he feels unsafe. So, even if it, like, you guys are failing to realize a lot of this stuff going on in the world right now. I'm thankful that they are still alive, but they have a long road ahead of them, Hana said. Quick response. Calls from Favre River Adventist School about an active shooter were received by authorities just after 1:08 p.m. on Wednesday. That's California time. So 1:08 p.m., that was literally like probably around the time we started doing this story. Yeah. We were reporting on this story within 12 minutes. I mean, within 15 minutes. Wow. Maybe I got to do this more often so I can break these little news stories. But that is crazy. I want to leave that at that. I don't even want to touch on any other topics or whatever. Please pray for these children. Let's all hope that these children end up doing good or whatever. Let me see. I want to see. I got my book of Dawahs over here. And I'm going to say some Dawahs for these kids. And you can say Dawahs and however you end up praying. But I want to pray for these kids' safety because this is crazy. This is crazy. Let me see. Is there any Dawahs for safety? Or for sickness? That's for home, medication, before entering the mosque. All the basic stuff. Let's see. Prostration, supplication for all that's mainly teaching you how to offer salat in the beginning. What to say after completing the prayer. Words of remembrance for the morning and evening. What to say before sleeping. Invitations. Invitation with a prayer. What to say immediately following with her. Against the oppression of rulers. We got some oppressive rulers. We got some really oppressive rulers going on. So we're going to say some Dawahs for these kids because these kids need it right now, guys. These kids need it right now. So like I'm saying, everybody on here, you need to pray for these children. You need to pray for these children. Oppression is definitely some type of oppression. They got people shooting at kids, kindergartners, a 5 and a 6-year-old. A 5 and a 6-year-old. That's definitely oppression. The more I read this book, the more I start remembering how to read Arabic correctly. Because it's been a while. Allahumma Rabbi. Well, no, Rab. Arabic's a little bit of a tricky language because the words don't go anywhere. It's cool. It's cool. But right now, there's some kids that got shot today, and I'm trying to pray for them with us. So at the moment, let's pray for these children. Allahumma Rabbi uh Shamwa. I'm gonna read the English translation because you see, you had the Arabic right there, and that's what I'm reading off of. And I'm gonna read the English translation because I know what the English translation represents more, and I don't read Arabic on a regular basis. And these kids need prayers ASAP. Allahumma Rabba Samawati Sabi wa Rabal Asharil Almim Kun Li Jaran Mean. The kids in California. Wa Azabi Min Kala Ikam An Yafa Allah. Oh no, I messed that all up. Stuckville Uvu Bilamina Shaitan regime. There was only 2 kids hit. It was a 5 and 6-year-old. And from my knowledge so far, they're in critical condition. Everybody survived but the shooter. So Alhama Rabas Samawati Sab Wa Rabil Ashril Adim Kunli Jaron Mean school shooters. Wa Azabu Min Kalakidan An Yafatu Allah Adun Min Hub or Yaga Azza Jaraku wa Jalla Bandra wa La ilaha illallah anta. And the meaning of that is, O Allah, Lord of the 7 heavens, Lord of the magnificent throne, be for me a support against school shooters and his helpers from among your creatures, lest any of them abuse me or do me wrong. Mighty is your patronage. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. How do I read Arabic words better than I read English words? Patronage, and glorious are your praises. There is none worthy of worship but you. Alhamdulillah. What else we got in here? Invocation against the enemy. I'm not trying to pray against my enemies right now. What to say if you fear people may harm you? Because there's definitely people out here trying to harm people. Ala ubu bilumina shaitan regime. I know that straight off the top. I didn't even have to read it. Invocations to say, definitely. Al-ubu bilamina shaitan regime. Al-ubu bilamina shaitan regime. Al-ubu bilamina shaitan regime. Oh Allah, please protect them children. You need to protect them children. Keep them safe. Invocations if you are stricken by in your faith. Invocations for the setting of debt. Invocations against distractions of Satan during the prayer and recitation of the Quran. Now, I got to get on that a lot more. El-Wad Billah Minna Asa. I'm trying to read it off the regular Arabic and not in the English phonetics, but El-Luvu Bilamina Shaitan Rajim. Yeah, that works for a lot of stuff. You just ask Allah not to let the Shaitan distract you. Invocations when you find something becoming difficult for you. I need to use that a lot more. What to say and do if you commit a sin. Invocations against the devil and his promptings. Al-Uvu Bilamina Shaitan Rajim. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Shadu la ilaha illallah, Shadu Muhammad Rasulullah, Hayya la salah, Hayya la falah, Kokum salah, Kokum salah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. If something you dislike happens, or for when you fail to achieve what you have attempted. This is one of them ones that's going to be better with me just reading plain Arabic. Kudu Ru Allahi Wa mashali, and that's a fa. Fa, and that's an an. So kulhubu wa mashahi fa'allah. It is the decree of the law. He does what he wishes. I guess so. I guess so. Good. I guess so. It's just scary when stuff happens like this. It's scary when stuff happens like this. Like, oh, why? Why would somebody shoot up a school? Why would somebody shoot up a school? Why? What in your right mind would have you shooting up schools, right? I'm sitting here, a Muslim, praying for Christian kids. Meanwhile, some of you guys are so hateful, you're going to shoot up a Christian school because you don't like Christians. Make this make sense. Make this make sense. I can't. I got to go. I got to decompress my mind. I got stuff I got to do around the home. I got stuff I got to do. My time's running short on what I actually have to be able to stream today anyway. Like I said, keep these kids in your prayers. We're going to pray for these kids on a regular basis. It's scary out there, guys. It's scary. Keep your children close. Make sure you know what's going on with your kids at all times. Try to have a way that you can get to your kids if they're at school like that, because some of these kids are still in that school waiting for their parents to get there, and they just seen 2 of their friends get shot. 2 of their friends get shot. That's crazy. That's crazy. And the worst part of it all is the dude that did it took his own life, and we can't take his life again. Hey, that's how I feel, though. I'll see